Bald-Sicilian, FBS. I am very grateful for Fat Bald-Sicilian. I'll tell you why. FBS created more channels than Comcast. Okay, FBS endorsed a lot of channels. He created a lot of channels, and I bet he can't count how many channels that he has helped to get monetized, and I'm one of them.
You know, and then it's not like you have no violence on your record until you're 30, and then one night you just decide to go out and kill a cop. It doesn't happen like that.
Fabrizio was always a tough kid. He was a tough kid. He had a nice punch. If you hit him, he would knock you the fuck out.
I already had the position. I don't want to say boss, but that's what I was. I had the position. I was made directly with New York, and I didn't have to answer to nobody in my area.
I didn't watch the show, so I didn't really understand the magnitude or, like, you know, how big this moment was.
But you know when De Niro asked him to let the old lady stay,
yeah,
you know, and she has to stay with the dog. Well, God, that's ever started, huh? You know, that scene, and he was like, "Stuts."
Anytime I got to shoot at John's restaurant on East 12th Street, which was like a big mob hangout where like Joe the Boss Masseria would like hold court, and I got to work with Ivo Nandi, who played Joe the Boss. Those were some of my favorite scenes.
And the moment you walk in, I could recognize who's at the bar, who's at the table, FBI. And this is the first time that I meet Sonny Franchitti.
As a matter of fact, outside the Bada Bing, Satin Dolls, we put a curtain in the parking lot. Everyone was wondering, why is that big curtain in the parking lot? We were rehearsing the hanging scene. I'm living proof, guys. I'm living proof. I mean, no, I'm no millionaire or nothing, but listen, look at my life 4 years ago. I was in a fucking hotel. I was selling crack. I was snorting coke. I was drinking myself to fucking death. I was literally taking bags full of Ativan just because I wanted to die in my sleep. I was all alone, you know, and now I'm here. I have my family. I have a little bit of money in the bank. I got everything I want. And I got you guys in this channel. So if I can do it, any of you can do it. Yizzo, what's going on, everybody? Friday night, almost, kinda, sorta, evening, I guess. I thought I was going to be on at 5:15, but I was running late. I was out doing shit, you know, so it actually helped that SoFlo went a little longer. So for the people who weren't watching SoFlo, I kind of made the announcement in the chat that I'd be coming on at 5:30, I think, but I didn't do it here, so I apologize. Sally, Bobby Barbarian, Jason Mikesell, Michael Hensley, we love you too. Jesse Roth, Dave, Stevie the Gypsy, Baby A, Sven Larson, Yizzo, Albaz, Ranger Fan 11, you got the sickest farmer's tan ever, huh? That's no good. It's no good. Moonlight 62, hello. Chris Capello, my man. Oh, sorry, I put up Stevie the Gypsy by accident. Your cousin Vinny, hey, bro, what's up, man? Good to see you. Antonino, wouldn't be a show without you. Sean McCarthy, Netflix Fanuc. Pee-wee hired me to burn down Joey Molino's cheesesteak shop. He gave me $50 for the gas, but I just siphoned it and ate lamb chops. I believe you. I swear to God I do. Oh, man, if I didn't, I'm sorry, Ranger Fan 11. I got to write it down. I got to make a note. Cyber Hotline, hi FBS, happy to pay my respects. Yeah, that's cool, Cyber. Good to see you. Just do me a favor, like the stuff you were telling me earlier, I don't care about that shit. You know, you don't have to talk about that in here. I ignore that dude, you know. It's been gone over 1 million times. So anyway, I'm going to talk about a troll. And then I want to explain something to you guys. Today, I was watching Chicago, or Tony SoFlo, I'm sorry. I was listening, I should say. Oh, shit, I missed a call from Chicago? Fuck, my bad, bro, if you're watching. I didn't even realize you called. I had my ringer off. I was watching Tony SoFlo. Thank you, Cyber Hotline. And he was talking about the Westies. Now, if I got this right, and I might be confused because they were talking about the Westies and this other guy. I think it was the Westies that said something rude about Brenda. Is this correct? Does anybody in here know for sure? Maybe Jesse or someone? I believe that's what I heard. The Westies talking bad about Brenda, but I could be wrong. Honestly, I got some stuff to say either way, but I would like to know if I'm right about that before I go on. Ranger Fan 11, make a sign and put it on the wall next to Rocky. This way you don't have to say my name, just keep it there. That sounds a lot more reasonable. I had some tuna earlier and I used Eyelight's teeth to open the can. I imagine his teeth make a great can opener. They're all, jagged and shit, pointing all different directions. Yeah, I don't know now. I don't know. I was trying to find out from Chicago before the show, but it didn't work out. I missed this call. Jesse said I was in and out of the chat, so not sure. Okay. The Nick Romano show. Good afternoon. Antonino, I believe SoFlo said Westy said stuff about Brenda. Yeah, okay, good. Nick Romano show. Let me just ask you something, bro. Since you're in the chat, do you regret or take back what you said about Joey Molino's wife? I gotta ask. Do you apologize for it? You know what I mean? Is there any remorse? I'm curious. Let's see. Send me some positive thoughts. Got some straight up tornado weather here. Hot and moist as pizza's ass crack out here. Oh, that's not good. As long as it don't smell like it. Nick Romano show said I did a video on it and I'm hoping to resolve it. All right, good, Nick. I just wanted to ask you that because obviously I don't agree with that type of shit. Nobody over here does because we're constantly getting our wives attacked and stuff, and it's just not right anyway. So I just wanted to ask you. Otherwise, good to have you here. So this motherfucker, right, the Westies. Now, I want to get this clear. I want to make this clear. When I first found out his name, which was a long time ago, okay, a long time ago, I looked up his stuff. I looked up his Facebook. I looked up some info on him, whatever, and I've had it for quite some time. See, remember people used to always say, people that knew me real well, if only you knew everything FBS knows, and doesn't talk about, like, because a lot of the stuff I do find out about people, I don't talk about. I knew Angela's information since October, and I never doxed her, put it out there. And I hate that bitch. You know what I mean? I know a lot of stuff about a lot of people that I don't put out there unless necessary. Now, the Westies, I should have done it then. I should have. Okay. I kind of let it go because the way I look at things like that. Who the fuck is he? He ain't going to make me no money. He ain't going to bring anything positive to my channel, talking about him or anything. It's not going to mean much. But you did trash my wife. And for that simple reason, Bobby, I should have torn you to shreds. Instead, I did what I do with a lot of things. And I just got distracted with something else and said, fuck it. But since, even though I should say I forgot about it for a while, today, hearing that you talk shit about Chicago Muscle's wife, Brenda, brought it all back to me. You like to do that, the Westies. You've said horrible, fucking disgusting things about my wife, my beautiful wife, who you would give your left arm to fucking be with. Okay. You and all your scumbag fucking friends, but I've dealt with a lot of them. I haven't really gotten to you yet. So while Tony was talking about you today, SoFlo, I put your name in a chat just to let him know who you are, because I think somebody had your last name, but not your first. And then I sent Tony a picture of you so they could have fun and, humiliate you a little bit. But I didn't send them all the pictures I have. I am going to show most of them on here today. The ones I'm not going to show, the Westies, have your family in them and what appears to be possibly a son and daughter. Now, here's the way I do things, Westies. Even though you talk shit about my wife in the past, I hate going after people's families. I really hate it, especially kids. So I'm not going to do anything with that. But I will tell you this. If you ever talk about my wife again, and I'm going to ask everybody, if you see him even mention my wife, I don't even want you to say anything positive. Don't say anything about her. Then I will put your whole family out there, and I will, pass what I have on to Chicago and so forth so they can do the same. Don't talk about my wife. Don't talk about theirs. Okay? You want to talk about us? Go ahead. But I have pictures of your family, my friend. And as much as I don't want to do that, you got to fight fire with these scumbags. So we'll see what happens, from here on out. And if you make the mistake again, well, I'll make you pay for it. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to let the dogs in. Hold on. All right. Now, I want to remind everybody, not only has he talked shit about my wife and most of us, on this side, I guess you could say, but he did little sneaky things like, he took a picture of some random license plate on like some beige car and gave it to Johnny Mac or somebody and said it was my plate. Now, at the time, I was driving a black 2014 Nissan Altima, okay, that was always parked in front of my house. Obviously, this guy wasn't here. I even checked video. I checked my cameras to see because you never know. Maybe he took a picture of a neighbor's car, something on the block. I had to be sure. But of course he didn't. He's a coward. He's a bum. He's a bitch. So he took a picture of some random fucking car and told everybody it was my license plate. It was not. So he likes to do shit like that, So I don't think he's gotten the attention he deserves yet. I really don't. But I want to give it to him. I want to give it to him today. Cash at me $50 and I'll talk about anyone's wife. I know you will. I know. Westies is Deadly's wingman. I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised. Westies is well known as the best salad tosser in the British Commonwealth. Why is he in the room then? I don't know. Not sure who you're speaking about, Nick. Westies is an evil little man. Yeah, he is. He really is. Too late. Past him. I want his wife. I don't know if he has a wife, Chicago. Let me keep looking. I'm not sure yet. But if he talks about your family, it is what it is. Whatever you need help with, my friend. I love when other people get humiliated. It's like watching a car wreck. Well, that's what's going to happen here today. Your cousin Vinny, $9.99. Happy Memorial Weekend, all. I'm working Sunday and Monday, but I'm going to detox Tuesday for alcohol detox because of my 15 years sober relapse a few weeks back. Sorry to change the subject. Get this scumbag. I will. Thank you for the $9.99. And yes, bro, just please get better and keep us posted. Seriously. And anything you might need that I can help you with as far as going to detox or anything, just let me know. I'm sure you already have it all set up, but any way I can help you, bro, I'd be glad to. Why, Jesse Roth? I'll be done by 7. I will take her out for a pizza and a fuck, and she don't like pizza. There you go. No way Westies is married to a woman. I call bullshit. Probably not, but it appears that he has kids, unless it's like a niece and a nephew. I don't know. 2014 Nissan Altima, People's Wives. I'm hooked already. Yes, not a fancy car by any means, but that's what I had at the time. Still don't have a fancy car. Bobby, I have brothers in PA who want to see you. Yeah, I have a lot of friends in Philadelphia too. Not near me. He's in the Philly area, but I mean, yeah, probably like an hour away or some shit. I don't want people giving out my license plate, so I pull a wagon instead. Oh, we know you do, bro. Oh, no, Nick. No, he's not here. You did it once. You can and will do it again. Yes, is that for your cousin Vinny? Yes, absolutely. Happy Friday, Rick. Oh, that's good, man. Yeah, definitely a good crew here. Enjoy the show. All right, that's awesome, bro. Good to hear. Westy's got fucked out of Ireland. I believe it. No kids. No matter what he said about Brenda. Yeah, I agree. I don't know their age though, but yeah, I hear you. I mean, yeah, he'd have to bring my kid into it or something for me to do that. Then I don't give a fuck, you know. But as far as the wife thing, like I said, if I can help you in any way, I'll be glad to, considering what he said about ours. No, I know, Nick. I know you were fucking around. So anyway, let me show you some pictures of this guy. Everybody's going to enjoy this. Now, I don't know if all of you were watching SoFlo's show. I don't think all of you were. So I will show you the one I sent him first. Get ready for this. Prepare. It's shocking. I'm not kidding. And by the way, guys, it's Friday night, Memorial Day weekend. I got a total of, I think, $30 on the last show, with the exception of, or if not including the donation Frank sent beforehand. So let's get some donations going, guys. That's why I'm on here to do this. I do this for money. So here's the one that I sent to Tony SoFlo. Now I'm just going to sit back. I'm not sure Rolex and race cars. I have to check. I got the information. I'm going to sit back and wait for your reaction on this. Chicago Muscle, pay the man if you love my show. See, he wants you to give me donations for his show. That's what a good guy he is. Okay, I'm going to start putting up the reactions. Yeah, that's him. El Cid 305. I think this community is about to get real good. Yeah, I think so. Dave says, what the fuck? Stevie the Gypsy says, inbred. Yes. Look at that far head. Yes. Now, you guys have heard me describe what I imagine when I think of a product of incest. And it's always a low-sloping forehead and eyes that are too close together. So I present to you Exhibit A. Right? He has fewer teeth than me. Oh, yeah. Hold on. I don't think he has any at all. I'm going to be honest. Bobby, nobody's scared. Trust me. You talking to the Westies? Look at that toothless pussy. Looks like the crack melted his teeth. Well, I was going to title this show Faces of Meth. This is what happens. Drug use. It's not a good idea, kids. You grow up and look like this fucking freak. I just went to bathroom. Who's on screen picture? LOL. This is a guy named the Westies, Bobby Creswell, who likes to talk about people's wives and families. Yes, he does. Frankenhead. That's right. Kat D said she's dead. Chicago Muscle. He should be Pizza's brother. No joke. 2 Irishmen. Yeah, for real. He's never had sex. No question. Never, ever. Def has the yuck mouth thing going on, without a doubt. The one he shows on Deadlies is younger. Oh, I'm sure. He takes the least terrible picture of himself and uses that one. Richmond Hill, he looks like Stan Laurel. He's a gummer. Nick Romano said, handsome fellow. Cat said, I'm driving, almost crashed. Listen up, fucko. His teeth there in his back pocket. Yeah, your cousin Vinny, that's the dude. He looks like pizza. He does resemble him. He does. Gummer's Pile. I like that, Chicago. Tell him to put his teeth in while in public. I don't think he has any. So, are you ready for me to move on? That's right, Leroy Bellachow Brown. Are you ready for me to move on to another picture? If you want another picture, throw some ones in the chat and maybe a donation or two. I'm not fucking around, guys. Today I'm a little irritated. I'm entertaining the shit out of you guys twice a day, day after day. It's only right. Dave wants one. Chicago. I'm sorry, Baby A. Chicago. Yeah. All right, you ready? The least terrible picture is still atrocious, without a doubt. David Lopez. All right, here we go. Here's the next one. He actually looks a little better. He actually looks a little better in that one, but what a schnoz on that motherfucker, huh? My God. The bottom of his schnoz almost spreads the whole fucking eye span, you know, from one eye to the other. I mean, the outside of the eye, closest to the ear. Zero teeth, obviously. That forehead you could show a fucking movie on. Okay, we could watch, I don't know, Goodfellas on his forehead. A Bronx Tale. The Irishman. Would be a good screening, too. Here's another one. He's an Irishman, so right there, he looks like he's on his way to get a 50 rock. And he just got done smoking an 8-ball. That's what look at his eyes. His eyes are wide open. He's on a fucking mission. He's on a mission. Here's sexy Bobby Creswell. You ready for this one? The girls, guys, women, I'm sorry, ladies, try to keep your panties on. Okay, seriously, I know you're going to want to take your panties off and throw them at the screen when you see this picture of Bobby, but try to control yourselves. This is a family channel. Here we go. Oh my God, ooh la la. Look at David or Bobby. What the fuck? Sorry, I had David's comment on the screen. Look at this guy. Oh my God, he's got the panties dropping. What do we got here? Hold on. People coming through for me. Bobby Barbarian, 199 super sticker. Thank you, my friend. Your cousin Vinny, 199. Thank you. And Baby A with the $30. Get them haters, FBS. Oh, I'm going to, Baby A, as always. Thank you. What do you think about this guy? He could touch his nose with his tongue, my kind of guy. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. Stand-up guy. It's your type of dude. Look at that, dude. I didn't mean to use that damn sticker, a super sticker emoji. Oh, it's all good, bro. Don't worry about that. Nick, I know you would get that. You're a Soprano fan. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't see your thing. Where is it? Hold on. I don't know. I don't know which one which comment came before that one. Sean McCarthy says, I've got chicken skin. This is the type of guy that he will give a dude like Tony Pizza chicken skin.
You guys on here, when you guys tell me you got 20 guys coming, I get a hard on. I'm like, 20 guys. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. So, you have no idea. I got chicken skin right now. When you guys say, oh yeah, I'm gonna get 20 guys, 10 guys, 13 guys, they're coming down. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You don't know how excited I get. I get excited.
Let me get back to the comment. Hold on. Where are we at? Listen up, fucko said, I already took my panties off. I know you did, Michael Paul Saccio. I'm fully aware. Cousin Jaw. Yeah, no shit. Looks like a crackhead, without a doubt. Yeah, he does construction, I think, during the week, and he spends all his money on crack on the weekend, possibly meth. Maybe a little dope, does some sort of double speedball with the crack and the meth. Yeah, he's all fucked up. Does he have a picture with teeth? No, because I don't think he's ever had any, at least not since he was a child, I'm assuming. Oh, look at this. My man who always comes through, Tom Sheehy. $50, and he said, wait a minute, I'm ashamed to say I'm Irish, Bro, say hello to everyone. Oh, Irish almost, you said. You shouldn't be. You're a wonderful man. And this guy is not a representative of Irish people, I assure you. Everybody, Tom Sheehy said hi. He can't be in the chat right now. He's somewhere far, far away. Looks like he weighs 130 pounds. Oh, well, we're going to get a better look. Nick Romano show, good luck with the joint, $4.99. Thank you very much, bro. Appreciate you, man. It's very nice of you. Let me show you so you get a better look at, let's just say, Bobby's build. Here he is, hard at work. Now that is a fucking leprechaun. That motherfucker looks like he's on his way to the end of the rainbow to get himself a pot of gold. Yes, he is an interesting looking, I want to say human being. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's good old Bobby. I think that fucking level is taller than he is. That motherfucker makes Johnny Mac look like a fucking giant. Dr. Spock ears. The Orange County Chopper shades. Oh, yeah, he's got him. He thinks he's a cool motherfucker. He looks like Hank Azaria after a car accident. Kind of looks like Matthew Perry. I guess he does a little bit. Baby A said, who's this sexy dude on screen? Stay calm, Baby A. We know you're all turned on by this guy, but listen, he's I don't think he likes women. So that dude never had teeth in his life. Probably not. Hi, FBS. He should not talk about anyone. They could watch a movie on his forehead at the drive-in. Very true, Chad D, and good to see you as always, bro. I hope everything's good with the family. Yeah, he should not. This is a guy who made fun of my beautiful, lovely wife, Shanna. Made fun of her looks. Can you imagine this cocksucker? Now get all pissed off, Westies, and act like you didn't do that shit. Act like you don't deserve everything I'm doing here right now. Because that's what you bitches do. Every time you get a taste of your own fucking medicine. Jaws of incest. Oh, shit. Pizza can't fight his way out of a paper bag. No, he can't. No, but everybody is always everybody's always trying to make him the scapegoat.
Everybody wants to blame me for everything. And everybody wants Tony Pizza to be the scapegoat.
Not the scapegoat, but you might be some sort of goat. Let me see here. Italiano 1018, what's up, bro? Gambino Bambino. This is Bobby Creswell. He is a guy. Well, I don't know if I want to call him a guy, but he is a thing that goes by the name The Westies in people's chats when he likes to talk shit and trash people's families. Just out of curiosity, Bobby, which Westie are you? Because you don't look like anyone I know. I'll tell you that much. Not from that crew. We've all seen the Westies, and you don't resemble a single one of them. Come on, don't give us all give all of us construction guys a bad name. Oh no, absolutely not. You'll never see a construction guy like this one. I don't even know how he does construction. I think somebody's still constructing him, to be honest, by his size and shit. What is 5'5"? Bobby Creswell. Poster boy for this is drugs. This is what you look like after. Yeah, no shit. 130 pounds with or without teeth. Yeah. Yeah, like a half an ounce or something with teeth. Bobby picking his ass. It looks like he's about to. He almost works as hard as me decorating houses. Oh, stand-up guy. We know you love to do that. You're all about curtains and stuff. Still no proof of teeth. No teeth. None. Zero. Zip. Zilch. None. No teeth. He's teethless. Pizza said yesterday his waist is only 30 inches. I haven't had a 30-inch waist since high school. Pizza is really tiny, and this dude could be his brother. Well, he's probably not telling the truth either. Pizza's got a big old gut. Pizza's got a big old gut. I know I told you I'd be true. Anyway, LL Cool J. Sorry, guys. I would say 36. 36 at least. Looks like someone I did some content on recently. Oh, my God. Here you go. He gets it good tonight. Oh, I can't wait. This is a guy who deserves all of our attention for a good period of time. At least all day today, but it should drag out a while, or at the very least, from time to time, we should throw his pictures up the same way we do with pizza and people like that. Looks like the type of guy who you catch doing a bump of heroin at work. He looks at you and says, "It's so I don't get sick." Yeah. Yes. Laura Connor, face his mom doesn't even love. There's no way she can. Nick Romano show says Hank Azaria, after a car accident, wins the fucking trophy. Yeah, that's a good one. If you lack teeth and height, you're on Team Pizza. Not to mention another guy, Bobby No Brajol. I like that. So he's not exactly MRE's lawyer. He's Bobby No Brajol, not Bobby Brajol. I got it. Understood. FBS. Oh, he doesn't like women. Just ruined my day. I'm sorry, baby A. I'm sorry. I know as soon as you saw him, you were like, I gotta have this motherfucker. And who could blame you? He's a beautiful individual, isn't he? But listen, somebody else will come along almost as attractive. Nobody quite as attractive as Bobby could really be, at least not on MobTube, you know. Maybe somewhere in the world, but I don't know how easy he'll be to find. Bobby Creswell is one of a kind. Be a good boy, Westy, says Leroy Bellachow Brown. I would take his advice. Nick Romano show, I'm missing one tooth. I guess I shouldn't laugh. Someone hooked me up with an implant. Oh, one tooth happens. You know what I mean? That happens. Like sometimes you're missing a tooth. You know, like I said, shit happens. But Bobby said the first time his mother told him to brush his teeth, he said, "Fuck teeth. I don't need no fucking teeth. Give me some Oakleys and I'm good." Hankery, 5 pounds, super sticker. Thank you very much, Hankery. I appreciate you. I think you're a first-time donor. It means a lot. Westies want to play? Yeah. Westies is going to get it. He is, because this is long overdue. Like I said, I don't know why I didn't do this months and months and months ago, but I get distracted. You know, and quite often it's with more important people, which when it comes to the Westies, that's damn near any fucking buddy. I couldn't find a gerbil to shove up my ass, so I used Westies instead. The Westies looks like West Hollywood. Ah, he does. Little San Francisco-ish, too. Westies, I am Leroy Bellachow. I get dirty. He does. Anybody's ever seen a Leroy Bellachow show knows. I have this sneaking suspicion, though, that Leroy Bellachow might be Tony Soflo. I don't know what gives me that idea. I wish he'd just come clean and tell us the truth. That level is 100% bigger than Toothless. He's standing on a platform. He actually is. Oh my God. You're right. I didn't even notice. He is. And he's only like, you know, he's not even eye level with the fucking fence, you know? Jesus Christ almighty. FPS, I'm sorry. Some said something about shit. Oh, son of a bitch. We always both agree. Oh, off limits. Family's off limits. Scum. Yes. Always family off limits. He's wearing woman's hip huggers. Yeah, definitely. Short man complex. Oh, he's tough in the chats, though. Isn't he tough? Oh, my God. He's got so much to say in the fucking chats. He talks like he's Chicago Muscles fucking size. Wait a minute. What did I do here? Let me get rid of this motherfucking picture, and I'll bring you one more. Okay, now, before I do this, I'm going to get through the last of the comments, and I want to warn you ahead of time. Once you see this picture, you will not be laughing at Bobby Creswell ever again. You are going to be scared. You're going to be shaking in your boots, because I'm about to show you Gangster Creswell. For real. The Westies, that name suits him perfect considering what a G he is. Wait till you see. Let's see. Let me get through some here. I suppose coming onto this channel, I've literally hung myself. In a way. FBS, is he standing on something that makes him appear a bit taller? Yeah, look. Let me show you. He's standing on this, whatever the fuck that is. That's got to be, what, a good 6 inches off the ground, at least 4. Yep, he certainly is. I'm surprised he doesn't have points on his shoes like an elf. Well, this is only a few pictures I showed. We don't know. It's possible he does. After all these years, that's the Westies? Certainly is, Walt Liquor. Believe it or not. Antonino, $25 for remember our past veterans on Memorial Day. Yes. Let me take the picture down and give a little speech. All too often, people see this holiday and this holiday weekend as just maybe a day off work, time to drink, time to get high, sometimes just time to celebrate, have barbecues, cookouts with family, friends, and enjoy yourselves. But do not forget what this holiday means, okay? And do not forget our past vets, like Antonino said. Do not. Remember them and their service to this country and honor them. And while you're at it, sure, have a good time. But don't forget what it's all about. FBS, I had no idea my man was such a bad boy. Oh, you're about to find out. Are you ready, baby A? This one is just for you. Of course, your cousin Vinny. I have the utmost respect for our servicemen and women, past and present. Absolutely. All right, here we go. Drum roll, please. Here is Gangster Creswell. Boom. Oh, the fucking gun is bigger than he is. Look at him. He's about to do some fucking damage. Maybe I should watch out. Maybe I should watch my mouth, because I'm probably only like an hour away from this motherfucker, and he's got a big-ass gun. What do you think the chances are of him using it? What do you think the chances are of him using it? Maybe I should have said it that way. Yeah. What do you think? I mean, there's only one way I'd like to see him use that gun, if you know what I mean. But I don't think he's ashamed of himself enough yet. Good old Bobby boy. Look at you. This is why you're such a tough guy on the internet, right? Because you go to gun shows and shit, hold guns. Makes you feel tough and powerful. Who knows if you even own one? I'm sure you got some chomo charges or something in your past. I wouldn't doubt it with a face like that. Now, before I take this picture down, I want to look at the comments and see what you think of Gangster Creswell. Bobby No Brajol. The guy with 1,000 jobs. Oh, wait, that's Tony Pizza. Bobby the Pick. Bobby No Balls. Bobby the Irishman. Bobby C. Two Guns Bobby. That hat is mint. He looks like Billy Barty. All right, maybe that one. I know I'm repeating myself, but still no toothy evidence. None. That was from some gun expo. There were several firearms on the table. Of course, you could tell. I mean, you might have been to the exact one, but yeah, you could see. It's obviously a gun show. Slim to none of him using that gun. I'd have to agree with you. Except for after this show. After this show, he might use it, if you know what I mean. He's been pretty humiliated. What in the meth mouth elf is that? D. Gainey. That's the motherfucker they call the Westies. That's right. That's Mickey Featherstone in the flesh. God forbid. Look at that Stan Laurel motherfucker. Something looks off about that gun. Yeah, the fact that it's in his hands. Oh, that's not kickback. That's throw him into the next decade. Oh, my God, the recoil would destroy him. One guy you don't want with a gun for sure. Very true. He would never pull that smoke wagon. He would not. That big gun is to make up for what he's lacking in his pants. Absolutely cackless. Mickey Featherweight. Strong arm tactics. Very, very good. Very good. Living the dream. Oh, okay, Impeach. What's up, Impeach? Bobby the Tooth. Chad D, FBS. I knew I saw him. He is one of the Whitakers on Soft White Underbelly. Bought the gun from JC. Chad D, I'm not sure if you win or come in second. There was a winning comment earlier. It depends. People might have to vote, but that is a hell of a fucking a contender right there. Excellent comment. He does look like one of the Whitakers. My money is on Valley Forge Expo Center. Probably. That hat doesn't suit him at all. Nothing suits him at all. A suit wouldn't even suit him. Is the gun show in the North Pole? Dude is dressed like it's 20 degrees. Yeah, everybody else behind him looks like they're okay. Look at the chick. She's carrying her jacket. She's got this very odd look on her face. I'm assuming the chick in the black and the blue shirt just got a whiff of good old Bobby. Look at her face. She looks disgusted. And her man is looking at her like, what, baby? What's wrong? And then right after this picture was taken, it hit him. He said, oh, my God, now I know why you had that ugly fucking face on. That son of a bitch smells like hot fucking garbage. Everybody looks pretty cool. I mean, they're not quite as bundled up as good old Bobby here. Makes you question the Second Amendment. Laura Connor, this is why. This is what they call common sense gun control. Keeping guns from motherfuckers that look like Bobby here. You know what I mean? There's nothing positive can come out of letting him have a gun. Okay? I'm assuming you don't have a record of any kind, Bobby, even though you claim to be such a tough guy. What a shocker. If I went to a gun show and even held a gun, I'd be arrested and locked up for 5 years. Westies looks like the hills have eyes, people. He does. It is an insult to the Second Amendment. I agree. Mickey Featherweight is my favorite so far. That is a good one. The Azaria one was good too, though. He's wearing the coat to make himself look bigger. Maybe. Because even with a gun, he still looks like a wimp. He does. He does. Westy's hiding his track marks with that big coat and peach. Oh, guys. What can I say? There's good old Bobby. Bobby Creswell, the OG. OG Bobby. Ain't nobody fucking around with him. He runs Philly. Runs Philly. Him and his gun. And his level. And his hat. And his giant winter coat. They run Philly. But let's go back to this one just for a second, please. Let's everybody, a moment of silence for Bobby's face. Let's just sit back and take a good look at this. Nobody even has to talk in the chat. I want everybody to focus. I don't want to give you nightmares. I don't want you to see this in your sleep. I just want you to take a look one more time. And I'm going to leave this up here for a little bit. I'm sorry about this, guys, but I must do it. Here we go. OG Dumbo. His nickname on the street was Bobby, whose parents fucked. Not parents. Brother, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. The product of incest. Look at Bobby. Is everybody enjoying this? Because I am. There we go. Let me take it down. And let's talk about this. Baby A, he is bringing sexy back. He is. He looks like his cheese slipped off his cracker. Should have put his hoodie up for this pic. Yes. Oh, I know you are, baby A. I know. This is a lot to think about, you know? It's not just we're looking at a picture of a guy. This is a guy who has beat all odds. You know, just when you thought you've seen ugly, here comes this motherfucker. And you deserve all this, dickhead, because you like to talk about our wives and our kids and every fucking thing else. I've seen you. I've seen you say disgusting things about my wife. Now you're talking about Brenda. You've probably talked about Tina. Great choices. Talk about my wife, Chicago's and SoFlo's. That's not going to hurt you in any way, shape, or form. No. Let's see. You should fail a gun control background just because of his pics. Or he should. Yes, he should. Wait a minute. We know you've never committed any crimes. You have no convictions on your record, but for fuck's sake, look at you. God almighty. A brother and sister fucked and they had a Bobby. That's his story. If you ever interview him, he'll tell you all about it, I'm sure. I'm sure he's very open about that. It looks like he's related to those Rhode Island mobsters from The Sopranos. The Rhode Island ones or the Youngstown, Ohio ones? Wait a minute. Were those in Rhode Island? We talked about this the other day. Were they in Rhode Island or were they in Youngstown? The blind motherfuckers. Westies has been in chats for years. These guys are social misfits. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. But this is, let me get into that actually. I'm glad you said that because let me explain something to you, to all of you. Guys, don't be afraid to donate, please. It is fucking Friday. It's a holiday weekend. FBS needs to get paid. Look at what I brought to you today. I should be getting showered with super chats and cash apps and Venmos and PayPals and everything else. Who else brings you stuff this wonderful? There's only 3 guys who do it. You know, and Chicago doesn't ask for donations. Should always be showering me and SoFlo with money. So I will. This is what I'll do. I will shut up about it. I will go on to what I have to say, and I will just have faith that my loyal friends and subscribers will take care of FBS on a holiday weekend for all the good work he puts in. That's me talking in third person. I'm not normal either, but I'm certainly not Bobby. All right, so Rhode Island. Okay, yeah. Those motherfuckers were creepy as could be. I think he resembles one of the Whitakers more so though. But let me explain to you guys how I feel about this and the revelation I came to a long time ago. This is the troll army. Bobby Creswell is the face of the troll army. Why? Because that's the face I fucking picked to represent the troll army. I don't want to hear no bullshit about him already being the leader. His face is no fucking prize either. Okay? But compared to Bobby, he's, I don't know, George Clooney or some fucking buddy. And that's an ugly motherfucker. So, you know what I mean? That says a lot about Bobby's level of ugly. Anyway, I miss Carvel, Nick Romano. There is one around here, not very close though. I miss Carvel. This is the face of the troll army. I want to make that very, very clear. Okay. What I mean by that is this guy, when you look at him, you see, like somebody said earlier, a social misfit. A social misfit. Thank you, your cousin Vinny. Yes, good advice to everybody here. We'll see if it actually happens. He is. You see a guy who could never and probably never had actually fit in with anyone. Never in his life in the past and could never in the future. You know, people are going to be repulsed by a guy like that. They're going to be disgusted as soon as they see his face, and they're going to say, no, I don't want to be seen around this motherfucker. And he gives me nightmares. Bobby is obviously a creep. And those are the type of people. Whoa. I didn't know what you were getting at. I thought you were just saying the Nick Romano show. Yes, she did say that. That's right about Carvel. all these guys, as I've described them before, are social misfits. They're outcasts. There's people who nobody wants in their circle. There's people who are just, like I said, as I described earlier, a guy like Bobby could never fit in. He's a weird dude, and he is a hateful motherfucker. Okay, without a doubt. I guarantee you, he's just like a lot of other people on here who from the beginning showed their faces and real names, but still, there's people on here who showed their faces and real names. Bobby didn't, but just like they are creeps and haters and jealous motherfuckers who sit at home and stew over people they're jealous of. Like, I don't know, me, SoFlo, people like us, completely and totally jealous of, because they see the way we live and everything else, and how happy we are in our lives. There's a lot of them, and that's what makes up the troll army. A bunch of scumbags, a bunch of motherfuckers who never had anything going for them and never will, who hate everybody else who's living a better life than them, which is pretty much every fucking body. They sit around in their fucking basement on a sticky ass keyboard from all the jerking off they did watching fucking porn because they're lonely and sad and could never get a piece of ass to save their lives. They sit there with their sticky keyboard and they type away, and they see who else is floating around Creepland at the time on the internet. And they make friends with them, and they form these little alliances and then create groups like the Troll Army, all because they're pissed off that their lives suck and they look like this punk motherfucker right here, Bobby. You know what I mean? That's how I picture all of them. And tell me that I've been wrong with everything we found out about the Troll Army, with each person we've exposed. One guy is literally a neo-Nazi, a rat, and a child molester all at the same time. And possibly, not like there's anything wrong with this, but, a Fanuc. Okay? He is their representative. He is their leader. So what do you think the rest of the members are like? The ones we don't know yet, the ones we haven't seen their pictures, we don't know their names. People like, I don't know, Parasite Slayer. Some of those other motherfuckers that make up. Hold on, guys. Sorry, Peanut was crying. He's just waiting for Shannon to come down. People that make up the Troll Army. Oh, yeah. Nick Romano. We didn't give them that name. They gave themselves that name. Look, Casey Robinson says at least he cleans his keyboard. There you go. At least if you clean it. But that's what they are. You get my point, guys. I've described them a million times. And every time we discover one, okay, or expose one, there's MRE. He was first, really, in the Troll Army. There was NB. You guys give me a list of names because I don't remember. People in the Troll Army we've exposed. There was MRE, there was NB, there's this fucking guy, and who else? Guys, give me some names. My fucking memory. The sit down with Jeff Nadeau says Nick Romano is a grifter POS who does videos on people's wives. You gonna keep talking shit on me, clown? Well, Jeff, do me a favor. Nick, he said he tried to I guess apologize for the Joey thing. He's trying to clear it all up and stuff. And he's not being rude to anybody in here, so I don't want to have anybody fighting. Jeff is my friend, of course. I don't know Nick like that, but I don't want anybody fighting, if possible. We're going after the Troll Army right now. Of course, everybody's welcome to speak their mind, but FBS, you need to honestly make a list of the Troll Army. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, even now, I know that we've exposed a bunch of people, but I just can't seem to, unless I really sit down and focus. We've exposed, let's use that word, a lot of fucking people on here. But I would have to sit back and try to figure out which ones were in the Troll Army. But even if you take just MRE, NB, and Bobby Creswell, other trolls too, like Mr. Batters. You know what I mean? Lots of people. We've exposed a lot of fucking people on here. And what do they always turn out like? If you take MRE, NB, and Bobby, Now, Bobby at least seems to have a job where he probably makes a decent living. I don't know why the fuck he doesn't spend it on, I don't know, teeth. I guess it's not a priority. Eagles games are way more important than teeth for Bobby, and meth and crack and dope and shit like that. But I predicted that NB was a fat rat who lives in squalor. I mean, MRE was a fat rat who lives in squalor. I predicted his height, his weight, his age, and where he lives. Okay. And I predicted NB's exact living conditions and what she's like as a person. And I was spot on. And this is before I didn't have any clue who these people were. I was just going, but by, being a good judge of character. I was going by what I can tell from the way they speak and the things they do and how they act. All right. I'm right every time. And Bobby is just one more representative of what the rest of the troll army looks like. Look what Chicago showed last night that I didn't even know. I didn't even know that Matty Marinara is another one who's they're all Nazis. NB talks about, yeah, we love the number 88. That's it. Nothing you say after that means anything. 88 stands for Heil Hitler. That's it. We don't have to hear anymore. Don't give any excuses. Oh, but it's not about hate. We just like the number. We're all inclusive. And then the dumb bitch says we love all shapes and sizes. Like that has anything to do with races or religion. That's what she should have said, the stupid bitch. But she's a fucking moron, like her fucking idiot partner in crime, MRE. You know what I'm saying? Just a pig of a person. She loves the number 88, Heil Hitler. Matty Marinara has 88 after his fucking, what is that? His on his channel link, whatever it is. Matty Marinara 88. I'm not sure what it was. I wasn't really watching. I was listening. Okay, so all of them, not only are they bums, broke, filthy, disgusting scumbags who live in squalor, they're fucking Nazis. MRE isn't the only one. It's the whole fucking crew. And Damien Argenti is one too. And the rest of that crew, I'm telling you, when I first found out who MRE was, and I found out before anyone had any idea of his name or anything else, okay, I researched that motherfucker. I looked at all of his Facebook pages and the little bit of friends I could find, and every single friend has Nazi symbolism on their page. Usually they're hailing Hitler. Oh, Jesse, thanks for reminding me. Look at this. Ryan Morrison, $1.99, small contribution for your efforts. Any dollar amount is fine. I just appreciate, that you guys show your appreciation by donating. I don't care if it's 99 cents. It means a lot just to know that you guys are willing to fork up some dough. So thank you, Ryan. Jesse Roth, $4.99. I'm dropping Miss Can't Be Wrong off at your houses. She's a handful. Uh-oh. Well, listen, you could drop her off here. We'll take her in. Miss Can't Be Wrong is a wonderful person. Apparently, she's high maintenance, according to you, but that's okay. Thank you, Jesse. Ryan Morrison, member for 19 months. Bro, thank you so much for being a member for so long. Michael Hensley, $9.99, Troll Army hiring ad, looking for individuals with no job, no future, must have internet and extremely creepy, no teeth, puts you at the front of the line, but not a deal breaker. I love it, Michael. That's a contender too. I don't know. We'd have to vote later. Who was the best comment today? Thank you guys for donating. It means a lot to me, really, honestly. Sometimes it's not even about the amount of money. It's just, that I know that people are still donating. You know what I mean? Because every now and then you get a little nervous. Ridge, $10 for have a great weekend. Thank you, Ridge. Same to you, bro. Same to you. I appreciate the $10, my friend. What the fuck? Just likes the number 88 MRE. Listen, MRE had 1488 all over his Facebook pages. MRE, he had all kind. He called David Lane his fucking leader. He's hailing Hitler. He's the only picture he had of a chick on all 12 of his Facebook pages, and I'm not kidding. I found 12 of them. Okay, I literally have a list of every social media MRE has ever had in his lifetime. And I'm not kidding. I'm good like that. And I found all 12 Facebook pages. Just because you take them down doesn't mean that the content that was on them or whatever you want to call it can't be found. It can all be found. Every picture you ever put online can be dug up by the right person. Okay. And I'm good as a motherfucker. And I'm telling you, in all 12 Facebook pages, there was one picture of a female other than like his grandmother. And it was some blonde chick who appeared to be at some sort of rally or something, hailing Hitler. All he talked about is Aryan heritage and blah, blah, blah. That's his whole fucking thing. That's his whole thing. And then when he comes on MobTube, all of a sudden he's proud to be Italian. Can't be both, dickhead. Can't be both. Cash deposited. Look at this. 3808. Jason Mikesell, my man. Happy Friday, bro. Excuse the weird amount. It's fine with me, bro. Is it 3808 because of 88? Just out of curiosity. Tom Sheehy the other night sent $88 because we were having this conversation. No, I'm assuming that was just whatever you had. I don't know. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it, man. That's awesome. See that, guys? I appreciate you. Seriously, I'm doing my best to give you great entertainment. So I love the fact that you guys are helping me out. Your cousin Vinny, I seriously have not even met as many Nazis. I'm sorry. I seriously have not even met as many Nazis, any at all, in fact, compared to the ones on this channel. I mean the Troll Army guys. Yeah, I haven't met that many Nazis in my life. The only people I could even say were close to being neo-Nazis is I used to buy way back in the day. I bought guns from everywhere. I used to sell guns, you know what I mean? Along with coke and crack and weed and every fucking thing else. And I through a friend of mine, made contact with some skinheads who, when I met them, rolled up with a trunk full of sawed-off 12-gauge Mossberg pumps with pistol grips. And you can bet your ass I bought them all. I kept one for myself, and I sold the rest for a profit. I did pretty goddamn well. I think I paid, they were brand fucking new, and I think I might have paid $1.25 each, if that. Yeah, so that's the only association I ever had, and that was the only reason I had association with them is business. That is fucking beautiful. Oh my God, hold on. Another Dexter Morgan creation, guys. I wouldn't deprive you. I must show you this immediately. There's Bobby Creswell. Dexter, you're a genius, and we love you here. You are a fucking MobTube legend. I don't know what we do without you. I don't know what we do without you. I mean, for fuck's sake, just this alone.
When you crush those little pills with your cocaine jaw, stealing from the poor, peeking out the window of your motel door. 'Cause he's Tony Pizza, he stands about 5'4". We're tired of your bullshit and we won't take it no more. Yes, he's Tony Pizza. Motto, and bullshit is his game. he's Tony Pizza. He stands about 5'4". We're tired of your bullshit and we won't take it no more. Yes, he's Tony Pizza. Everybody knows his name. Lying is his motto and bullshit is his game. Yes, he's Tony Pizza. He's Tony Pizza. A racist to the core. He's YouTube's biggest loser, and we've heard it all before. Yes, he's Tony Pizza. Yes, he's Tony Pizza. Every show's the same. Lying is his motto, and bullshit is his game.
Dexter Morgan, we speak your name. He's a legend. Look at what he made. Jesus fucking Christ. Best thing to ever fucking happen on MobTube. The Nick Romano show. Jeff gave up on calling me a liar, so once I take down that stuff, then what do you do, Jeff? I'm curious. What's your next move? Because right now you've been getting dogged. Yeah, I don't, I stay out of it. At first, Nick Romano, I was under the same impression that Jeff currently is. I thought there was a possibility you might have been a fraud on here. And then I talked to somebody who I trust very much. He corrected me. So I do take that back and apologize. As far as Jeff, I don't think there's any convincing him. So I hate to see you guys fight, but it's going to happen anyway. I just, I'd rather not have it in the chat. We're all having a good time, especially today. We're having fun. I want to hear Toothless Bobby say suffer and succotash. Big Vic 1965. What's up, bro? What's up, FBS in chat? I love your show. I donated. I agree with the hatred of the trolls and the wife and kid shaming. But the shit you went through with SoFlo in Chicago makes me crazy. No, I know we went through a war. I know, bro. I understand. Went through an absolute war. An Oriental woman could have a party with some string and Bobby's eyebrows. He needs that shit threaded. Jeff and Nick, please respect FBS's chat. Please don't fight in here. Yeah, I'd rather not. Got it, Dexter. Yeah. By the way, Stephen Cordell, $10 for Match. And as you guys know, Stephen Cordell is one of the biggest sponsors of this show. So, Match. I'm glad you're not fighting with them, but there's no difference than any of these other idiots that talk shit. But I'm here because of you, bro. Thanks for listening. Well, you're allowed to have your opinion. You know what I mean? But I have my reasons for everything. Me and Tony were very close at one time. So it's, no matter what happens, sometimes, it's at least possible to make up, and in Chicago, with all the shit we did to each other, when everybody else was trashing my mother when she got news that she might be dying soon, Chicago did very nice things for her. And he apologized to me for everything he did as far as my wife or my mom or anyone else way back in the day. So I understand people, you can have your opinion whichever way, but I hope you all always trust my judgment. The internet doesn't forget no matter how hard you try to hide something. No, they do not. I just had that much left over in one of my accounts, so I used it up. Oh, gotcha. Well, thank you, bro. Very, very nice amount. 3808. I like it. Where did you do most of that stuff? Where are you from, bro? First time here for me. Haven't got a chance to check out your stuff yet. I'm originally from Queens, and my family's all from Bensonhurst and Bay Ridge. So, I lived there as a kid, and then we moved here. I didn't really become a bad kid or a problem until we moved here, and then I became a real bad kid and a real serious problem. So I got into selling drugs and selling guns and all types of crazy shit. I got a couple of felonies, unfortunately, and I fucked my whole life up by being a knucklehead. But I've turned it all around, Nick. I was up until June 21st of 2019. I was on and off a cocaine and alcohol addict for decades, and now I'll be 5 years clean and sober next month. I'm not in the streets anymore, and I just try to do this, entertain people, and make a good living doing it so I could support my family. That's the best part of the song, I think, Nick Romano. And our Dexter right here, this guy right here, this fucking legend, this genius, wrote that shit himself. Those are his fucking lyrics. Jesus. It's Ask Dexter. Dexter created it. The music, the lyrics, everything. He said he did like an AI thing. It's a mixture. There you go. He could tell you better than I can. He used an AI voice, and he said it's a mixture of a guy from Iron Maiden and a guy from a band called Tesla, which I never heard of. Nick Romano and Jeff should talk and clear it up. I think so too. I think so. No doubt, bro. Yeah, I think they should talk. I bet you if Nick and Jeff sat down and Nick told him about his life from the beginning or something and explained that he's not acting as if he was an associate or a made guy or anything. I don't know. I think it would get better. Back in the old days, that would have really taken some skills to put together using like Fruity Loops and digital voices and shit. Oh my God, yeah. Absolutely. Ryan Morrison, FBS. I don't agree with you're the Donald and other politics. Read previous podcasts, but I respect your opinion. The true guide of normal friends is that they can agree to disagree. Of course, you know what I mean? Most of my friends on here totally disagree with me politically, but they don't hold it against me. I don't hold it against them, you know? And I try not to even talk about it because I don't want to bother people, but I can't not. When, like this morning, since last night, I was like, I got to say what I want to say. I have to. I couldn't help it. But yeah, it's true friends will always be able to agree and or disagree, and it doesn't cause a huge issue. Nice. I was Staten Island from 1978 to 2001. Oh, so you were 23 when you left? Okay, because we were talking about that the other day. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, I would like to talk to you one day, bro, and hear some of your stories and stuff. I take great interest in some of the people you were around, the new Springville boys and Pacello and all that. FBS, I consider you one of the greatest turnaround success stories of all time. My brother, I really mean that. Well, thank you, bro. Thank you very, very much, man. That means a lot to me. I did my best, you know, and no matter what people say about me, you know, they can't take away the fact that, you know, I live my life in a positive way now, you know, and I turned my life around completely. I don't use anything. I don't need any crutch to get through the day. I don't steal. I don't sell drugs. I don't shoot at people. I don't do anything crazy any fucking more. All I do is enjoy my family, try to give them the best life possible, and fuck with people on YouTube who fuck with me. I represent Queens. She was raised out in Brooklyn. There you go. Nick Romano show. Good for you, bro. God bless you. I like the channel. Thanks, man. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you, baby A. There you go, Jason. Now, dude been doing this a lot longer than 6 weeks. Oh, you talking to Nick? I used to be on the streets, but now I'm a Choice Hotels VIP. Yes, you are. Sean McCarthy, you're telling the truth. You are at this point. Yeah, you're some sort of loyalty member. You get discounts at all the shitholes. People have forgiven me for a lot of my past, so I figure it's only right to be forgiving to others. It is true. It is. I was actually a big fan of Jeff. Loved his show until he started abusing me for no reason. Well, here's the thing, Jeff. If he sees anything that appears to be fraudulent when it comes to mob content or people who claim to have been in the mob or part of the mob or associate or whatever the fuck, he calls them out. I call out frauds in general. Nadu focuses on, we'll just call them mob frauds. You know, so if he don't believe you, he attacks. He's done it to my own friends before. You know, so and he's very thick-headed. He's a gamadost. You know, he's hard to deal with sometimes. But I still love the guy. Jeff is a good dude, in my opinion. I think part of being American is the ability to talk things out politically with people you disagree with. and you can keep it civil. I agree. We lost that a long time ago, unfortunately. Stevie, I'm not going to fight in this chat. I said my piece regarding him. There you go. Sounds good. JGB, serious, Jeff, I love your lives. Nick ain't shit if he didn't eat bacon off Sonny Franzise's lap. Well, in all fairness to Nick, nobody got to do that except for you, Sean McCarthy. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? I'll be 45 in August. So I'm taking from what you said, you were born in 78, so a year apart. I was born in 79. I'm going to lean on this group to help keep me sober after I go to 72-hour detox Tuesday. Boy, you can always count on us, and I will promise you I'll be doing addiction and recovery shows. And if you want to reach out to me and give me your email or phone number or something, I will let you know before each show so you don't miss them. I'll probably be doing one while you're in detox. If you could have your phone and shit, I don't know where you're going. Maybe you could watch it. Jeff is just a natural skeptic, as he should be. I don't think there was any disrespect meant. No. That's the problem. I wish he would have just talked to me. Well, I'm guilty of that too, Nick. I jumped the gun and I just start trashing people before I just speak it out with the person, talk it out. And usually I change my mind after I do talk to them. So hopefully you guys can talk. The sit down with Jeff Nadeau, I guess I was wrong. He said, I have nothing to say, show proof, or get lost in my opinion. Love you, Chris, and wish everyone a good weekend. Love you too, and have a great weekend, my friend. Maybe stop by or something this weekend. We'll chop it up for a while. What can I say? I mean, I don't know how. Nick, are there things you could show proof of? I mean, if it was just your life and you just knew people, how do you show proof? You know what I mean? Some things you can't show proof of. I don't know. But maybe if you talk to him, he'll turn out to be a decent guy. And, you could tell, Jeff, when you speak to somebody, whether they're a bullshitter or not, in my opinion. I know I can. I reached out to Jeff twice, and James Proctor reached out to me first. Oh, I got you. Jeff is awesome for pure mob knowledge. He is. No problem, guys. No more Jeff talk. All right. I'm 45. I'll be 46 in October. So, yeah, we're a little over a year apart. I was with the Crossbay Bridge boys. We lived under the bridge. I believe you did. Jeff is just doing his job as a legitimate mafia content creator. He is. Jason turns 39 on Sunday. Yes, you know what that means, right? You know what that fucking means. Happy birthday to Jason. I want everybody to say happy birthday in the chat. And I'm going to have something for your ass in just a second. Oh, by the way, let me play one of my favorite new clips of all time now.
Johnny Method done with the cannolis, huh? Yeah, you got them up your way or something. Yeah.
I love that clip. When I saw that video, I was like, I got to take that.
Johnny Method done with the cannolis, huh? Yeah, you got them up your way or something. Yeah.
Here you go, some Weird Al.
Oh, hey Jason, how you doing? Al here. Listen, I know you're super busy. You got a lot going on. I really hate to bother you, but well, there's something I've been meaning to tell you, and I'm afraid it just can't wait any longer. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jason. Happy birthday to you.
Uh-oh.
Hey, it's your birthday. Gotta be your birthday. You know what I was told? Hey, you're 49 years old. It's your birthday. Oh, yeah. Jason's birthday. Hey, it's your birthday.
There you go. Happy birthday, Jason, my man. 39 years old. Young bull. No phone and detox, but I'll watch after for sure. Okay, gotcha. Vinny, knowledge is top notch.
Actually, but he doesn't know everything. Vinny's knowledge? Who's Vinny? Or do you mean Vinny? Oh, you're talking to Vinny? Vinny knowledge is top notch, actually, but he doesn't know anything. Your cousin Vinny doesn't know everything. Yeah, Jeff. No, I hear you. Nick, Staten Island, born New Jersey. Now, by the way, Nick, I don't know when I told you my little story there. I don't even know if I said where we are. Did I? We're in Pennsylvania now. That's where we moved to from a long, long, long time ago from New York. So, is what it is. I showed tons of pictures and I posted some of my court papers on my community page and I did a short on it. Oh, all right. I want to go see. Danny Trio talked a good game. Remember, so did Vinny Green. Yeah, let me tell you a quick story, Nick Romano. I don't know if you've heard of a guy named Danny Trio. He likes to fuck dead horses, but this is a guy who came on here with the New York accent, you know, and the fucking tough guy image and his wife beat her every fucking day. Talking shit about how he was in the Colombo family, or at least an associate, and he killed a store owner during a jewelry store heist. Okay, and he went to prison for 18 and a half years, and then he came out, was back with the mafia for a while, got shot by an enemy in the Colombo family, and then went on to open a glass business. With the good research done by yours truly and a couple of other people, we uncovered that in reality, he only lived in Brooklyn till he was like 14 or 15. Then he moved to Florida. He was actually a panty thief. I shit you not. Look him up. His name is Daniel. What the fuck was his name? Daniel John Smith, I think. He goes by the wash and wear burglar. That's what the media and the police dubbed him. This is true. He used to break into people's houses, steal their underwear, put them on, put their clothes on after showering in their bathroom and taking a shit and whatever else he had to do. He would burglarize homes just to do that. Okay. He was never an associate of the Colombo family. Who knows if he knew a few guys from when he was a kid? I don't know. He went to prison in Florida, not New York. He did a total of about 9.5 years, but that was for like car theft and some other bullshit and the burglaries. Okay. He never killed anybody. He was not an associate of the Colombo family. And he didn't live in Brooklyn most of his life like he would like most people to think. It's one of the funniest things to ever happen on MobTube. The Jerry Lang thing was the trigger. JGB, yes, Nick Romano. I will admit myself, that got me. The sit-down Jerry Lang thing. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, but there'd be no way to prove you wrong, I assume. The sit down with Jeff Nadeau said, happy birthday, Jason Mikesell. Your cousin Vinny said, happy birthday. Nick Romano show, Jesse Roth, Dexter Morgan. Thank you, everyone. I love you all. Go Team FBS. We love you too. Look, he's laughing at his song. Happy birthday. From what I've seen of Nick, I don't believe he's a fraud. I believe he's truthful, in my opinion. Well, I got to admit, I only watched a little bit of the James Proctor thing. And I watched your video on Joey Molino, and I'm not going to lie, Nick. When I heard that video, I was disgusted by you. You know what I mean? Because first of all, you know, it's wrong to do to anyone's wife. Secondly, it's Joey Molino. And third, it's been done to my wife on here time and time again. And there's a certain crew of us who go apeshit and will engage in full-blown wars over somebody talking about our wives, you know, so. No doubt, Jason. Look, Nick sent you some birthday cakes. No doubt, bro. You know I was going to make a big deal of it, right? Wait till Sunday. I'm going to have a whole lineup of songs for your ass. That's pretty fucking cool. Thank you again, FBS. I actually, before the show, I got Weird Al Yankovic to record that for you. I'm that good. I know a guy. I know a guy that knows a guy that knows Weird Al. That put a smile on my face. Haha, loved it. That's good, man. Then mission accomplished. Vinny said Jeff had good knowledge. I agreed. Oh, yeah. That's what I figured. Sometimes it takes me a second to catch on because I'm a fucking moron. But the sit down with Jeff Nadeau, let's also not forget certain people believed him to the point of letting him co-host the show. Who? When did he co-host the show? I thought he just got interviewed. Oh, you're talking about Danny Trio. Yeah. My bad. Yes. He was Lee Cole's co-host. Yes. And he was pretending, you know, to have been in the mob. And he did have a lot of mob knowledge, but it is MobTube. Most of us do. You know, it's kind of a prerequisite. I heard about this guy and definitely total fraud. I'm definitely not Danny Trio. No, I already know you're not him. That's for sure. Or on his level. As far as being a fraud, I don't know that you're a fraud at all, but I know you're not on that level. That's for goddamn sure. Your cousin Vinny, Nick Romano, totally respect your opinion. I know Jeff doesn't know everything. I just appreciate his knowledge, which is completely separate from his knowledge about you. Nothing but love, Nick. Yeah, see everybody getting along. I love it. Oh yeah. You want to come on? Yeah, and I bet while you're on here, I bet a bunch more people are going to donate and stuff. Nick, you got any good stories? Please share. All right, let's bring Nick on. Jeff, you want to come on and talk it out with Nick? I think it would only be right. I'm just saying. And maybe Nick could answer some of your questions. If you could do it in a civil manner. Otherwise, I'll just talk to Nick. There's the link, Nick. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm connected like that. Nick, I know you probably noticed already. Sometimes in life, you don't get an apology. The best way to handle negativity is just to prove them wrong. That would be correct. All right, Nick's coming in 2 minutes. Jeff, you're welcome to come on, bro. 113 people left. Not a huge crowd today, but it's Friday and on a Memorial Day weekend, so that's what happens. Let's see, guys. Now all I have to do is sit here and wait. I'm done entertaining. By the way, guys, this show is most likely going to come down as soon as it's over because it's very strikeable. So I'm just letting everybody know that. Don't get mad at me. But it's most likely, in case you're thinking about leaving and coming back later, probably not a good idea. This whole show, or maybe I'll edit parts, whatever. We'll see. Nah, I'm not going to do that. That would fuck it all up. I'll probably just take it down. Jason, 3808. Ridge, $10. Antonino, 25. Stephen Cordell, 10. Tom Sheehy, 50. Then we got 10, 15, 17, 19, 24, 29, 69, 71, 73, 83. Not bad so far. Not bad at all. I appreciate every one of you for donating. And everybody else, if you would like to donate as well, any of you, please do before the show is over. I'd appreciate it. Now I'm about to bring you even more entertainment. Courtesy of, what did I just get? Courtesy of Nick Romano. Hang on one second, Nick. The fuck did I just get? I don't know. Holy shit, wait a minute. For fuck's sake. Oh, it appears nothing. I don't know what that was then. Anyway, here's Nick Romano. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, brother, man? Yo, first of all, I appreciate you having me on. And so far, I'm brand new, but I could tell I definitely love your channel, man. And I appreciate you letting me hop on. Wanted to say hello to your subscribers.
No doubt, bro. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. So, you want to clear some things up? I take it.
Listen, what's your first name, bro? I apologize.
Chris.
Chris, here's some of my issue with what Jeff kind of did. If he would have talked to me, I reached out to him initially as a gentleman. I reached out to Proctor, and I know I'm a brand new channel, and some of the stuff may sound a little crazy to people, but I reached out and I was willing to like talk to Jeff. I watched his show all the time, and he was one of the guys I was hoping to get started with. And I started to talk to James Proctor about a lot of my stuff. He reached out to me first. He said, listen, he said, I really appreciate what you're doing with your channel. He's like, maybe we can talk a little and see about bringing you on. After we spoke about a year and a half, a week and a half, I apologize. I get a little nervous,
I was going to say,
man.
God damn.
No, I'm still,
it's all
bro.
good.
I'm still a little camera shy, man, and I'm new at this. So you guys are super comfortable. And I'm just still, like I said, I'm at this 6-7 weeks. I was talking to James for about a week and a half. I shared a lot of my story with my father having a club in Staten Island, man. My parents came from Brooklyn, from South Brooklyn. My Uncle Joe married Louis Hubella's daughter. That's the Syrian. We have connections going all the way back there. My godfather ran the local 400 union with the Persicos. This is all verifiable stuff that if Jeff would have gave me the opportunity, I'd be sharing all the pictures, all the stuff, and a lot of it's on my page now. But I didn't jump into this game to be a bullshit artist, bro. I'm not saying I'm a gangster or I'm a made guy. I grew up in a neighborhood in Staten Island that it was just filled with mobsters, gangsters, made guys. My father had a club for 15 years, a social club. Jerry Lang, and I know what you questioned about Jerry Lang. Let me speak about that a little bit.
Go ahead.
I got in trouble in my neighborhood with a very connected associate, okay, of the Gambinos. And you know what? Sometimes I jump on here and I expect everybody to know what I'm talking about because everybody in my neighborhood and the kids and the people that were involved, yeah, it was very hush hush for a while, but everybody knows about this story. I got myself very jammed up. I'm going to share the details later. I was pulled out of my house. I was kidnapped. There were sit downs that went on for 2 months over this. And we got a message initially to Jerry Lang in prison. Jerry calls my parents back. I was sitting in the living room. He just told my mother where to have me the following day to go see somebody that was a acting captain in the street. Go meet him. My mother said, they don't want to see anybody else. They want to talk to you and you alone, and they want to know exactly what happened with this whole situation. And when I went to go there, I was dropped off by my brother on the corner. I, I can't, the exact streets, I'll never get right. The guy had a social club right there in Bensonhurst. I waited about a half hour standing there by myself. The guy pulls up in his Lincoln, gets out of the car, called me over. I walked to the corner, just me and him. He started to ask me exactly what happened with this whole situation. And when I explained to him everything that went on, he said, you're going to go home. You're going to wait until you hear from us. Your parents will explain everything. The situation is going to be taken care of. Nobody is going to put their hands on you ever again. And we're going to work this whole thing out. And that began 2 months worth of sit downs that this man had to get retribution. He had to get money paid back. There were things that I robbed out of his house that were gone and he was never going to see again. So the only way for that situation to be resolved in the neighborhood where I grew up in and at that specific time, this was the only way around it. We weren't calling cops. They weren't calling cops. None of the other families of the kids that were involved were calling cops. This all got handled right in the neighborhood. And when I came on to start my channel, this is a story that obviously in detail I'd like to share on a bigger platform, maybe down the road, and see where it's going rather than shoot my load and jump out and say, hey, this whole thing happened to me. You know, I've been building up a little bit of a channel, not to say I'm a mobster or I'm a gangster or I'm a made guy. My family had a ton of connections going back a very long time. I got myself jammed up. I robbed a store when I was a fucking kid after my father passed away of cancer after this whole thing. This happened in the summer of 1992. My father died March of 93. So I had to also deal with a lot of this the rest of my life, that on my way out, my father knew I fucked up real fucking bad. And I dragged my family's name down in the thick of it too. So, you know, when people question you too, and it's stuff that you've been through, and you're dealing with this even your whole life. I suffer from awful anxiety, dude. I was a little kid, and I didn't straighten up after that. Right after this happened, when my father died, I went on to rob a store. I got placed on probation. They said, hey, instead of going to jail, we're going to send you up to this shock program up in Daytop. Just say you got a ton of problems with drugs. At the time, I think I was maybe using weed and drinking and shit. I had a good lawyer. He said, listen, they're going to send you up to this program. You got to finish the program. So I go up to a program in Daytop Village. I was there for like 15 months. I come back home. I violate probation over something stupid with like a girl in the program. My probation officer tells me, the judge is gonna remand you unless you complete a program. So he said the only thing I could do for you is send you to a new place. So then they sent me somewhere else for 15 months, this place called Dynamite. Now I come home from Dynamite. I did 30 months in these different programs just so I could kind of beat jail. I was probably better off doing the fucking time.
Probably.
So I got dragged around with all these fucking programs, and I don't know what programs do today. Back in the day, those things were no joke, bro. The shit you went through over there in some of those places, and I was with kids from Marcy Projects, and that, forget about it, bro. That wasn't no little 30-day program or some of this shit today where you guys go in and out, or NA, or I was in a residential program, people screaming in your face at 5 a.m, all that shit. Make your bed, bouncing the quarters off the... They make you get on the floor and scrub tiles with a toothbrush if you got in trouble. Like, I was in those places for 30 months, and then I come home, and I said, I'm going down to Florida. I was right at the end of my case. This was in January of 01. I'm about to max out on my probation. My probation officer tells me, just stay out of trouble for a couple weeks. You're maxed out on the 5 years probation. I'm just going to go in and I'll end up getting you off. I said, Ma, I'm going to go down to Florida for a couple weeks. I got a friend there. I said, I'm just going to hang out there so I don't get into any trouble at all. At the time, I was working for the Springville boys. I was working for Big Billy and all them guys over at the pizzeria when I left. So I left. I go down to Florida, and I get picked up for a DUI the third day I'm there. So now I got a decision to make. I said, do I go back to New York and risk them knowing that I just ran out of state and I ended up with a DUI somewhere? So I stay in Florida. I said, I'm not coming back to New York. I told my family. They were like, what? I said, I'm not coming back. I'm staying here. And I rolled the dice. I went and dealt with the DUI. I got 6 months, something stupid, suspension of a license. But my thing never showed up in New York because I had a youthful offender status. Even when they pulled this warrant, when I didn't show up to court, I didn't take care of this warrant till 12 years later. And I posted the paperwork today on that. I literally was in Florida. That's another whole story that I'm getting into. I ended up on another 5 years paper in Florida for a bullshit drug charge. And they never once knew that I had an active warrant out for New York. And if they did, it was something that they weren't willing to extradite on. So all the shit, people are like, how'd this happen? How'd this happen? I know it sounds crazy to people, bro. And that's what I'm learning in this space too. I know Jeff came from like a little bit of a rural area and stuff. Bro, this is all, when I talk to people like maybe yourself or just James Proctor did a great interview with me and I was super respectful and grateful to him. But where I'm going to shine a little bit is when I'm talking to guys like you or guys from New York that actually understand. I haven't put one thing out on my channel that I lied about. And the Joey Molino thing, if you guys don't figure out what the fuck I was doing with that, come on, man, I'm brand new. I was just playing the game. I read
Yeah, I
an
know.
article. I read an article in the New York Post when I started to just research a little bit of Joey Molino. I was a huge Joey fan. Huge Joey fan, for sure. But I'm reading this stuff and I'm like, holy shit. Maybe she did this or she did that, and I'm just reading it in different articles. I'm like, man, it's front page news. So I threw it
Yeah.
up there, and I was playing a little bit of the word game and the YouTube kind of whatever you do in the word search there that helps you out. So I didn't do it like purposely to be like, hey man, I'm this scumbag that's gonna trash the guy's wife. For you giving me the opportunity to come on your program, as soon as we're finished, I'm pulling that down. I'm gonna
That's
pull
great.
down. I'm gonna pull down both videos. They're my most popular videos. I have the most views on Joey stuff. I'm pulling it down immediately when I get off this phone call with you. You guys, right now, those videos are set to private. I'm gonna delete them and start fresh. I made a
That's
little
good.
video. I wanted a Philly guy to come on and kind of debate me about this because I also feel like you got a guy like Larry Mazza. This guy's writing books and his whole story. He did a lot of stuff in the street. I know of Larry Mazza, not personally, but from what I've read, and I know he was a part of that life. The guy built his whole book and story around sleeping with Scarpa's wife. So what are we doing here? Are there rules? Is this no holds barred? If your wife ends up on the front page of the paper because she's involved with the mob or a story, I guess that's something that's completely frowned upon. And I want to play the rules like everybody else.
Yeah,
So
well,
I,
I always say look at it as if it was your wife, what you would do.
You
You know
know
what I
what?
mean?
That's probably where I lack because I'm single. So I'm still a little bit of a single guy. And you know what? Hearing you say a little bit what you said in the beginning of your podcast about the people talking about your wife, you're right. It's bullshit. And
Yeah.
I did it pretty much. I'll say it first and foremost for the views, dude. I threw it up
Oh, of
there because
course.
I was brand new. I'm not looking to step on nobody's wife's throat. I'm not looking to make anybody out to be, especially family. I have a lot of family right now that's hurting real bad for what I'm doing. And I feel like I'm trying to just maybe do something for myself to better myself. But there's a lot of friends and family that are not on board. I'm not a rat. I never cooperated. I had people asking me when I had my warrant out, I thought they were looking for me. I had detectives calling me because of where I worked at the Village Cafe with the Springville boys. And I
Yeah.
was ignoring shit because I had a warrant out for my arrest. And they were going to my aunt's, my brother's house every other day and every other week. And then after a while, they give up. Every now and then they popped up. But my family used to be like, he ran off to California. I don't know where the fuck he is. And then in 2012, I bought a condo in Florida. So I go ahead and I register for the homestead. So I get a break on my taxes. I homesteaded the property. As soon as I did that and paid my taxes, I got a letter in my mailbox. Picture this. I thought this thing was probably, as long as I didn't go back to New York, I thought I was good. I was at that stage where I said, fuck it, I'm good, bro. And I'm sitting there, I open my mailbox, and the letter in the mailbox says, Department of Probation, dear Nicholas Romano, we are affording you the opportunity to come turn yourself in. I almost fucking passed out. I just bought the condo. I just bought the condo a year before. I was like, now I'm gonna end up going to jail. We finally, I got on the phone with Joseph Benefonte in the city, who represents half the wise guys in Staten Island. We knew him personally. He did me a favor. I came up there in 2012. It was Hurricane Sandy. I'll never forget it. I got stuck there. There hasn't been a hurricane in Staten Island in 10,000 years. I got there, there was a fucking hurricane while I was there.
That's your luck.
So what happened when I went up there is they handled the warrant. I went in and turned myself in. It was a case from the original charge was 1995. People were looking around in the courtroom going, where the fuck has this kid been since 95? This was 2012. People were almost like, is this a joke? And the judge was Judge Leonard Rienzi in Supreme Court. He hated me so much as a kid. He hates Italians. He's the type of guy that he's an Italian judge that if you get in front of him and you got a halfway good family or you come from a middle class white, forget it. He fucking hated you. So
because in his eyes, you're making Italians look bad. That's how anybody's a criminal or anything.
Exactly, and that was his kind of outlook. He was a Brooklyn guy and all of that, Rienzi, and he made obviously a good life for himself as a judge. So he looked at you like, "What are you doing, you asshole? You got an Italian name or this and that." So he would really, he remembered me. I came back. My lawyer went in the back with him in the chambers, Benefante. He came out. He said he's not going to lock you up. He said, I thought he was going to lock you up for a little bit. He said he's going to let you go while you're up here. He said he's going to place you back temporarily on probation. Now I'm like, are you kidding me? I go to probation and re-register. I see my probation officer there from 20 years ago. He's like the head of the whole probation now. His name is Ralph DeFury. He's like the head of Department of Corrections. He said, what are you doing here? Another Italian guy, probation officer. He said, that was you that just happened with Rienzi? He said, we were talking about it. He gave me a $5,000 fine. He said, you got to pay $5,000 and I'm giving you 80 hours community service and you can't go back to Florida until you finish the 80 hours up here. I said, he was better off locking me up, sending me to Rikers for 60 days. I would have got my head kicked in, came home and been fucking happy that I caught a beating and left. So I was like, this guy killed me. He didn't lock me up, but he nailed me with the fine. I had to pay for the lawyer. And then I got the 80 hours community service, which I couldn't even end up finishing. It took me forever because of Hurricane Sandy. I had to end up like volunteering at my old high school to finally get the case dismissed. And this stuff is all on my community page right now. I put it up. So all in all, bro, I just want to say, I know I ranted like a raving lunatic, which New Yorkers usually do. I'm 100% Italian. I got a fucked up voice. I'm
You sound like Gilbert Gottfried.
I know. Somebody else said that. I was pissing my fucking pants.
I said it like 3-4 days ago. Yeah.
The guy said it in the room. I couldn't stop laughing. I was hysterical. But anyway, I did, bro. I ranted a little bit, and like I said, I'm still very new at this. I'm uncomfortable even being on camera. But everything I'm talking about, guys, I'm telling you, 100%, 100% true. I will not give you guys a bullshit story. I'm not going to lie about being something I'm not. I was paying attention to this 4 years ago. Michael Francis sends me an email to come on his show. I posted that. I posted it. I posted that.
Why didn't you go? Why didn't you do it?
Because number one, I was very, very nervous. And I shared a story with him like I'm telling you guys. He got back to me. He said, I really appreciate your story. I wish for you the best and all that stuff. And I was like shocked. And then I thought about it. There were still people alive at the time that I was worried in my head, family members, my aunt, some other people. I was still kind of worried about that. So taking all of this into consideration, I passed on the offer. I said, what am I going to do? Jump on there, air my family's dirty laundry, tell a crazy story about a kid that got jammed up and was doing a lot of wrong things. I was like, well, what am I going to do with this afterwards? Just go on his show and maybe say whatever I'm going to say, and then that's it? So I didn't know what to do with it, to be honest. But I've been paying attention to these channels and stuff like everybody else since the pandemic. And I see all the bullshit guys and all the frauds, and I laugh my ass off. I just felt like I had an original story as a kid, and I got a lot of family connections going back a long time ago. And I figured I could throw my personality into some of this shit. And that's it. All the guys complaining about my missing tooth. Hopefully somebody could give me a fucking implant. Send me the money. I'll go fix it.
Listen, there's a lot of people on here that don't have any teeth. Don't even worry about it. Listen, I want to say this. Let me ask you a couple of questions. But first,
of course,
you could tell you're a hit in the chat. Everybody likes you. If somebody would put a Nick's link in the chat, we can get him some
I don't even know how to
subscribers
do it, bro. It's the Nick Romano
Somebody in
show.
here will get it.
I appreciate it. You said your first name is Chris?
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Chris.
No doubt. Let me ask you. So the sit down was because of your family connections, right?
Yeah, well, bro, listen, I had no way out of this. My brother, this sucks. You know how bad I want to spit the whole fucking story out? I would love to.
Of course.
I would love to, but I got to try to think and go slow because I'm a hypertension guy, and sometimes I get a little high blood pressure, buddy. So
It makes two of us.
If I fall over, I'll pop back up. Just keep going. I'll be up in like 2 minutes. My brother comes home the night that this happened. He says, you have to tell your father. My brother ran down there after I came home. My brother ran down there. I came home with a busted eye. I got pulled out in front of my house. My brother seen it. The person that did it, I don't know what made him say that, but he turned around and said, we're taking your brother to the precinct, meaning the police station. He said the 120.
Yeah.
He said something. And for a minute, that's what happened there. But my brother, when I came home that night after this whole scene took place, my brother comes back. He ran down the block. He comes back. He says, they're going to cut you up in 150 pieces.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And he said, if any of us were involved, he said, they're going to cut us up in 150 pieces with you. He said, so the first thing you have to do the minute your father wakes up is tell him this whole entire story. And I sat there shaking like a leaf. I caught a beating. I called two of my buddies. I called two of my friends, and I said, I got a big problem. I told my one friend what happened. I said, I just got pulled out of the house. I said, I caught a mad beating. I said, I got a big problem. He was half asleep. It was the funniest thing ever. He knows if he ever sees this. He said, let me go. I'll call you back in a little bit. He hung up on me. I just told the guy I got kidnapped. I got pulled out of my house. He said, I'll call you back in a little while. He made it like it was no big deal. One of my friends, he was half asleep. So I speak to him later, but my father wakes up. My parents actually, I had to tell the whole story. What happened? First, I told my mother. I apologize. Let me go slow because I'm getting nervous. I told my mother.
All right.
My mother went down there next by herself. She came back. She said, we have to tell your father. She said, my mother thought she might have been able to go down there and maybe handle this herself and maybe talk her way out of it. See, she didn't even know what the extent of this was yet or how much money it was involving. So she turned around and went down there. She comes back. She says, you have to tell your father. And this is where everything started to, to move forward. Once my mother told my father, nobody ever knew about me getting pulled out of the house as far as my father. He was sick. He had cancer already at the time. A couple years prior in 91, 1 year prior, I apologize, my Uncle Joe got killed in Brooklyn. And then my father got cancer a couple years later. My Uncle Joe was the same guy, again, that married the Syrian's daughter, Louis Hubella's daughter. and he was he looked up to the Syrian and all of that. That was his. I don't want to get too much on him. He was out of control, just with doing a lot of stuff in the street, and he paid that price. They killed him as part of the it was what was it, the first Colombo War, and he had a lot of connections. He wasn't a made guy, another freelancer, just out there with his own people and doing whatever. That's another thing. These people, everybody gets caught up on, like that, the made guy or this and that. There was a million guys in the street operating that did not have a button. So for all the people that don't understand that, and if those guys needed to go to somebody, let's just say they got in heavy trouble, they may have somebody that they can go to and maybe sit down for them. Now, if it was something really bad or something out of control, no, they probably weren't going to be able to save them. So my uncle, not to get off topic, he ran around like that. He got killed in 91. And then by 90, probably right around when this happened, my father ended up getting cancer. And then he died in
Sorry to hear that.
93. But I appreciate it, man. Let me tell you something. My father's dead since I'm 14 years old. I cry like a baby all the time, brother. All the
I
time.
bet.
All the time. Excuse me.
No, it's all right, bro.
Yeah, man, I looked up to my father a lot.
Sure you did.
I'm sorry, dude.
No, it's all right. Don't even sweat it. I'll talk to the chat for a second. I'll ask I'll ask him some questions, guys, towards the end here. I got a couple I want to ask him about the new Springville boys and a little bit more about this.
I'm here, bro. I apologize. I just get a little emotional,
No
man.
problem.
When you start to talk about this stuff and people getting killed, and then I remember my father's reaction. That was his kid brother, my Uncle Joe. If you go look at some of my pictures, I got some old, really beautiful pictures, like of my family, old stuff. And my Uncle Joe was my father's kid brother. And everybody knew, especially in our family, that it was going to come to this. Like everybody was waiting. They knew he was going to get killed. They knew what he was doing. And there was no stopping him. He's a grown-ass man. What do you do? My father had stories about throwing him in the trunk. He had to hide him because he shot somebody coming out of a bank with jewelry and stuff. They were looking for him everywhere. They put him in the trunk to take him back over to New Jersey, my uncle. They were all over looking for him. There's a story I posted not too long ago. My brother came to pick me up from Catholic school. It was snowing out. So they were releasing the kids. They said, come get your kids. I'm waiting like 2-3 hours. They locked up my brother because he had the same last name as my uncle. He got pulled over. His name was Joseph. His name was Joe Romano. They locked him up. And back then, you didn't have all the technology and all that stuff. Sometimes the people's names just came up and stuff. There was no picture and everything and all this high-tech stuff. So, when I speak about just some of this, man, when my father got sick, that was a big part of it. But my uncle passing away and then me being a knucklehead. I started with little bullshit. My father was a bookie. I started to go in the club when I was a kid with my friends. I would stop there to get money. My father had a club. My father had a club in Mariners Harbor in Staten Island on Union Avenue. He was there for like 16, 17. There's people that I talk to today still didn't even know about my father's club. He had regular doctors, lawyers, teachers, principals. My principal of my school used to play in my father's club all the time. Jackie DeRoss, we knew from family, and from Jackie DeRoss was in and out of my father's club. My godfather is Johnny Boy Ganone. He was very close to the Persicos, to Wild Bill. They ran this union, bro. He was the president. I'm showing all this stuff, like I said, and I'm like, do people really think I'm like bullshitting or pulling that stuff out of what did I wake up and say? I'm going to tell this story?
Well, that's why I asked you about the thing, because like when people hear that Jerry Lang sat down for you, people automatically get the impression that you're talking like you were some big mob figure who could have Jerry Lang sit down. But it was your family. It was your family connections that got.
Oh, what? Listen, man, how did you? I wasn't hanging out with Jerry Lang, obviously.
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
you know what I'm saying? I'm 45 years old. What was Jerry Lang taking me to play pinball? I wasn't. I'm just saying, if my family didn't know who they were, they reached out, and this was a major favor that to other people that were very close with him. And the way that those guys worked was, of course, they would do something for you, especially if they knew your family or they were very. Some of those guys would do that for maybe a kid that they just knew on the block that they were very close with and might have gotten in trouble. Some of those guys would have stepped in and did something for that man. But my parents were very close with people, and my godparents knew a ton of people. And because my father operated on Staten Island, everybody knew each other back then, man. There all these guys and gangsters. There were social clubs all over Staten Island. Tommy Bilatti's, Don Borghese, my father, this other guy, Sammy. People. There were social clubs all over the place, dude. And if you didn't have any contacts or know anybody, no, you couldn't just do that. That part of it, yeah, they would have came in and shook you down immediately and had you pay for the game. So unless you knew people, you had to have somebody in your corner, and that's the way it worked. Well,
That's why I asked, because otherwise it sounds unbelievable. Some kid
no,
has Jerry Lang sitting
look,
down for him, but it's your family.
And Chris, what I have to do, the best thing I could do for myself and for my channel is I got to remember that when I'm talking to people, I'm not talking to everybody that lived in Staten Island or Brooklyn, New York also.
Exactly.
This was so regular to a lot of guys. And I'm not saying I just ran a story about, I think it was did I do a short? No, I did a video about the kid Vincent Bickelman with the Bath Avenue crew. Bro,
Yeah, he
that
robbed
kid.
Spiro's daughter's
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
That was a prime example. I heard that kid only robbed like one piece of jewelry or something, and they killed him.
There's a necklace that said Jill on it. Yeah.
Okay. The stuff I robbed was estimated at 80 grand.
Jesus.
In 92. So again, I probably, if I was a little older, and they claimed some of the people that were involved. I'll be honest, this may sound crazy. I kind of deserved what I got. They were not people to mess with. I didn't know that at first. I'll get to this whole other part very later on. I did not know the person was an associate. And really nobody else in the neighborhood did. Maybe a couple older people and my immediate friends and the people that I were hanging around with and some of the people that know about the whole story and were involved, they didn't know who this guy was. We found that out later on. And then obviously too, which some people will find next to impossible, after this was straightened out and everything was handled, I walked up and down that block for the next 7 or 8 years like this never happened until I moved to Florida, because those were the instructions that I was also given. They said nobody will ever lay another hand on you ever again, and this matter is completely squashed once he gets back the money. And my portion that I had to pay back, coming from my end and my family, had to come up with 27 G's cash. 27,000 had to leave the house for my part of that in a little briefcase. And my mother looked at me. She said, "There goes your brand new Cadillac when you get your license. You just pissed that out the fucking window," she told me. That's what she told me. That's what my mother said. So that was a lot of money back then. Other people had to be involved and pay too. There were sit downs that was ran by somebody high up at somebody's house. They were an associate and they ran the meetings to kind of determine what was going to happen here. who was going to pay
Yeah.
what, who was involved. They sat down and treated it like it was a regular case. It was investigated by them like it was a case. They wanted to know what happened, who was involved, who sold what, who got how much money, and then who was going to pay what back. Because the guy said it right in the meeting. These were his exact words. He said, "You had a better shot of stealing from John Gotti."
Yeah.
He said, "You guys were just better off robbing Gotti's house." He said it was the same fucking thing, what you did.
It's not good.
No, not good at all. Very, very bad.
Well, let me ask you something else too. Who were you close with, or who are you friends with in the New Springville boys?
With them guys, I knew. I don't want to get into last names, but if you guys look in books, they're all in books. I was close. I was close with Big Billy in my neighborhood. James and Franny, I was close with. Both of them guys I worked for. All three of those guys I worked for the last year and a half that I was in Staten Island. I worked with them guys at the Village Cafe. They had a pizzeria. So, and then I had other dealings with a couple guys from the neighborhood. Like I said, everybody knew each other. I didn't hang out with them guys every day because they were like, some of them guys are like 9 or 10 years older than me. Some of them a little bit older
Yeah,
than
of
me.
course.
But if I ever needed something, I had access to all them guys. They knew me running around. I was already fucking borrowing money, gambling. I was, you know, no, did I hang out with them every day? Absolutely not. I'll be the first to tell you that. Did I see guys coming in and out of the pizzeria that I was familiar with from the neighborhood? Or, hey, what's up, Nick? Hey, what's up? I was hanging out in my neighborhood from when I was like 9 years old. I was all over the place. But we'd go
Yeah.
hang out at the mall, the movie theater, and all these groups of guys were always around, man. They were just a little bit of the older guys. And if they got into fights with people, we got into fights with like the younger guys of those guys and shit like that. So, there was tons of different spots and groups of kids all over Staten Island. Port Richmond, my neighborhood in Westerly, over by Sammy the Bull's house, the Mirrored Building, past 60, down in Midland Beach. Everybody hung out in the parking lot. Tottenville had corners all over. 511 near Port Richmond. Bro, there were like 30, 40 kids, 20, 30 different kids in groups of sections all over Staten Island. So,
Yeah.
as far as like hanging out with them every day, I'll say it again. I repeated it. No, but did I work with Billy? And I worked, like I said, man, I worked with them for the last year and a half before I left. And those are all great guys, straight, legitimate Arrow guys that are, doing great for themselves now and all of that. So, these are stories that go back 20, 30 years, some of the stuff. So even me coming on here, I'm like, bro, a lot of these guys, or when they're in books or there's been stories told, they didn't cover a lot of stuff on them, but a lot of these
Well,
guys, bro, these are some of the toughest kids on Staten Island, trust me. And a lot of other
yeah.
guys too. You didn't have to have a button. You didn't have to be made. Somebody would break your jaw and worry about your button later. We'll fix that later.
Yeah. Well, outside of New York, a lot of it is known. What is known about the New Springville boys is basically because of Pacello. But you never had any contact with Pacello or TG or Lee or anybody.
No. Well, Lee, I don't remember if Lee used to come in here and there in the calf, but Lee was very well known, very well respected. He had brothers. Everybody knew who Lee was. Was I hanging out with Lee, Lee himself? No. Did I meet Lee a couple times? Absolutely. 100%. And as far as James got into some of that with his interview with Karen and Lee, and like I said, they were a little older than me. I'm 45, so they were a little bit ahead of me. But everybody knew who they were. Like I literally lived like I don't know, 7, 8 blocks around the block or whatever from Sammy the Bull. So I'm very close to that neighborhood, and everybody hung out in Pier 60 in the schoolyard with basketball and handball and sports, and You know, I reached out to somebody a long time ago. They even forgot. Like they were like trying to picture who I was. And then we spoke a little bit. They were like, holy shit, of course I remember you. And I have, you know, tons of people that now I'm trying to get some people maybe here and there to jump on my show a little bit from my neighborhood. But people are very hesitant too, man. They don't, you know, not everybody is willing to do this and come on here and talk. And maybe, you know, a lot of people feel like I shouldn't be doing this myself. And I'm like, wait a minute. I never signed up. I never got a button. I can't talk
Yeah.
about some stuff or past,
It's your
you know,
story.
these are just stories. And most of them was from when I was a kid. Yeah, the other shit, the other stuff used to, you know, when I started to get in a little bit more trouble later on, but that's because I was already wrapped up in the system. You get caught up in a little bit of probation and all of that. I did like 10 years on probation. I'm not saying like these guys going to prison and all of that. I thank God I didn't have to. I'm glad. I don't want to be in prison for 5 years or 1 year. But I'm like, a lot of this shit, when I got caught up in probation and the stories, and then I ran to Florida, I had the warrant out for my arrest. When I got down to Florida, the biggest story down there was Chris Paciello with
I'm
Club
sure.
Liquid. Bro, everybody was talking about him. I lived in South Beach. I lived in Miami the first like 7, 8 months, almost a year, I was in Florida. I was in South Beach. That kid was the talk of the town, and him getting arrested and brought back up to New York and all the shit that was fresh. It was brand new.
Well, let me ask you something about that. What was the word around Staten Island when Judy Shemtov got killed? Was anybody aware that he had anything to do with it, or was it just a mystery?
Chris, you know what the problem was, and this I'll touch on more of my story later on. But a lot of people would talk about scores and stuff. Like that's how they definitely got this information. Somebody,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, was talking and went back to him and said, this guy's got all this cash or whatever in the house. And, you know, the stories like that went around and stuff on the island. So as far as, I mean, people talking, I hate to say this, and it's a little bit disgusting, but there could have been a lot of people that were capable of doing that. I mean, it wasn't like I know for me and my friends or other people, nobody suspected, you know, of some of them guys being involved in this, you know, with Chris. And from what I understood, Chris was just a getaway driver. He stayed in the car the whole time.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So, you know, it again, this was just like a score set up like the couple of the stuff they did. There was rumors about him when they did the bank. They did a bank job in the Staten Island Mall, and they threw like a thing through the window, and they just jumped in. It was perfect because the
Yeah.
Staten Island Mall, like, it was just perfect. It was so easy for them to do, and there was a lot of word around that. And whatever with the pot, when people they had that truckload of weed and everything.
Yeah. He put a
Fucking
low
weed.
jack on it,
There
found the
was,
fucking truck
yeah,
after he sold it, and sold it again.
yeah. He was, he was, that was definitely him, 100%. We heard stories about that all the time with him, with doing shit like that. So, you know, some of the stories, and yeah, do I know the guy directly and all of that? No, but we didn't, when that murder happened, as far as your question, no, we didn't suspect him. But like, you know, if there were scores or robberies, or you might see a couple guys walking into a place, tell you know, somebody they got to pay some money or to even be in this neighborhood and stuff. Guys were doing that too, man, street guys and stuff. And if they had to go to a TG or somebody else, I don't want to get into names. If they had to go to somebody else, they'd say these guys, you know, they'd have them sit down or say these guys are okay, and that's it. So as long as they knew them or were close to them or they were able to reach out to somebody like that, what do you need to go the other route for? To sign up or to get the butt, to get to be made and then end up getting grouped in and do 100 years? So a lot of these guys, man, I'll be honest, that they did their own thing. They did whatever. And that was it. Those guys almost had their own little family going on, bro. When you got 30 or 40
Oh, yeah.
guys, when you got 20, 30 of guys like that behind you like that, and they didn't give a fuck, that you got to start worrying about them too, whether they were made or not.
Yeah, those kids were no joke.
No, bro. No way. And I'll be the first to tell you. If I had 3 or 4 of them roll up on me, a couple where I did 1 or 2 times where I owed some money, I would have ran for the fucking hills. I'm
It'd
not
be smart of
lying.
you to do so. Yeah.
I'll fight a guy like me. I'm a smaller guy, bro. These guys were monsters. And half of them, they didn't even know how old I was. Half of them probably wouldn't deal with me anyway if they knew how old I was. Some of the guys I was dealing with, I started dealing with guys when I was 13 years old. I needed to borrow some money. I was gambling. I had bookmakers already. But my father ran that business. It started as a little kid. I would play the scratch-off tickets and start with that bullshit. And then I'd try to figure out why my father just smoked 500 cigarettes and he wants to kill me because I'm rooting for the wrong fucking team. So I started to figure out little by little as I got older and hanging out in the neighborhood. Like I said, man, I started hanging out when I was like 9, 10 years old. I had dirt bikes. I had dirt bikes when I was real young, riding up and down the street, terrorizing the fucking neighborhood. I did all of that shit.
Yeah, well, the reason I asked you too, sorry, I put that up by accident. The
That's all
reason
right.
I asked you about the new Springville boys too is because the way it started to sound with at least people that didn't listen to the interview with Proctor and stuff is like you were acting as if you were some big shot and you were tight with all the new Springville boys, but all you're saying is you were around them.
Bro, I was around them. And let me explain this real simple. Let's just say I had a problem with somebody, maybe in the neighborhood or something like that. I had easy access to if I had a problem and I had something I couldn't handle. I go to one of these guys in a minute, and they always looked out. Or if I wasn't in trouble with any of them, those guys looked out for me. Same way with a bunch of the guys in Port Richmond and the Port Richmond guys down there. Those guys all looked after me, bro. I was never a bad or a looked at kid like this kid's a jerk off unless I was in trouble. If I was in trouble with some gambling or I borrowed some cash and I couldn't pay it back, and I started to do that shit when my father died, man. I was all fucked up. You lose your father of cancer at fucking 13, 14 years old. Your uncle just got killed 2 years prior. You got grandparents that were still alive. Everybody's upset. You got, there are a lot of personal things. When you hear these guys like Michael Francis and other guys talking about how it ruined their family, and it does.
Yeah.
It does. People get
course.
killed. People get killed. People die of drugs. It fucking destroys families. You deal with that for the rest of your life. You hold on to resentment. You hold on to remorse. You get aggravated. You can't change it. I wish I could go back. I'm not proud of the shit I did. I just came on here because I figured I could fucking fit in. And from what I see so far, with some of my stories and some of the Donald Duck stories that go on here, I'm fine. I ain't gonna have any problem.
Yeah.
I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna be here for a little while. And like I said, man, I wish maybe Jeff or other people would have started just looking around a little bit. I'm guilty too. Look at the videos. Look at some of my stories. Jump
Well,
around. Look at the community page. I'm not full of shit. I'm just a regular kid that had a bunch of stories that grew up in Staten Island, bro. And my family had some real serious connections that ended up helping me out.
well, like you said, a lot of people aren't from certain areas and don't understand this shit. They don't realize that there's tons of kids like you who grew up in neighborhoods like that who had guys around them and stuff.
All over the place. When they started talking to me about, as soon as my father died, it's in one of my videos. It's called like the Subway video. I ran in a store, man. I ran down a block. I was at my friend's house partying. I owed some money. I lost some money gambling. We were rolling dice, was just smoking, hanging out. I said, I'll be right back. I'm going to rob the Subway. My friends were all laughing. They were joking around. And a couple of them were like, no way, Nick, you're out of your mind. Make a long story short, I robbed the store. And I get put on probation. I forgot where I was going with this, bro. I just
It's all
lost it.
good.
I know, I'm sorry. I just lost my train of thought.
It's all right. I got to wrap it up because somebody else is
No,
coming on. But I just want to say this. I started asking you the questions I did because I wanted to see if you exaggerated your position at all, and you didn't. So there's no reason for anybody to believe you're full of shit. You're just telling stories a neighborhood kid who had those people around them would tell. You're
I'm
not acting
sorry.
like you were some fucking.
I'm sorry, Chris. That's what I was about to say. When I did do the subway and the stuff, like they were saying I had to go to Spa Fit and all of that. When I violated probation, the judge stuck me in Rikers for like 64 days or something, 60 days. I was in C-74 with adolescents. They were going crazy, bro. This was the 90s. There was Latin Kings, Bloods, Crips, Muslims. Every 5%ers, 2%ers, guys were getting cut over a cigarette. I was there for like 60 days. I was like, this is definitely not for me. And that's when I took one of the programs and they were talking about like sending me to Spoffit because I was young, and Spoffit was like a Brooklyn place. Then eventually I went to the place where they sent me upstate, and I went to two of those. And like I said, I came home, I was still messing up. I ended up in Florida. I jumped all around, bro, and I try to cover as much as I can to kind of give you and your subscribers, a little bit of my story. I probably said too much, but I'm hoping,
No.
I'm hoping some of you guys come over and check it out, man. And I just want to thank you a lot for letting me come on. And as far as the videos, I won't forget. Soon as I get off here, I'm going to pull down the Molino shit. So we
Good,
could start from scratch. I don't want anybody bashing me like I'm trying to put up bad content and kind of hurt somebody's wife in the process. I'm not about that.
No, well, listen, you came on here as a gentleman. You're a nice guy. You're funny. You got a good personality. I think you're going to do well, and everybody in here seems to like you. I hope somebody, or at least a lot of you people, clicked on his link and subscribed to his channel. You all should. The link is in the chat. And I wish you success, bro. I do. You're welcome on here anytime.
Hey, Chris, listen, bro, I really appreciate that. I only started to catch some of your stuff. I want to look at some of your videos. I'm very interested in your story, and it's super, super hard, bro, to make changes that you made. That shit is, again, top level stuff, bro. I know I had little battles and being away. I partied here and there. I never did anything hard or some of these people like, oh, this guy's a meth, this guy's that. Right now, I don't drink, I don't smoke. Every now and then, cannabis is my thing because I had broken legs, collarbones, motorcycle accidents. So I use a little bit of Other than that, bro, I don't drink, I don't smoke cigarettes, I don't take pills. I won't even take the blood pressure medicine they want to put me on. It's probably going to kill me before my show gets good. But I won't take that shit. So I appreciate you letting me on, Chris. I hope we could do this.
No
We'll
doubt.
schedule something in the future, bro.
Sounds good, bro. Good luck with everything.
Hey, thank you so much. You have a great day. And guys, enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Please, everybody, be safe. Don't fuck around out there, man.
Yeah, sounds good, man. I'll talk to you soon, bro.
Thanks a lot, brother. You guys have a good day. Thanks, everybody.
All right, bro. All right, so there you go. I only got a few minutes here, but he seems like a good guy. He's a reasonable dude. He's not inflating his position like he was some fucking some major mob figure. He was a kid. He was around guys. He could reach out to these guys if he needed help sometimes. He had family that was connected, so I think that kind of explains the sit down thing, because just any old regular kid isn't going to be able to have that. It's not going to happen. But if you have the right family connections, it's definitely possible. It's happened in the past. I had somebody who became a captain in the Genovese family sit down for my fucking aunt because she did something to piss a maid guy off. That's a fact. That's a true story. So all this stuff is possible. It does happen. It has happened. And it's not, that uncommon in those neighborhoods. So I like the guy. I think he's a gentleman. He's a good dude. And I encourage everybody to go subscribe to his channel, and let's give him some support. Him and Jeff have their differences, but it is what it is. I have no reason to call the guy a fraud. I have somebody I trust very much vouching for the guy, and he doesn't just vouch for anybody. So, I take back the things I said, and I, like I said, I hope to see him do good, and I wish him luck. Let me just shout out. D. Gainey sent me 1088. Course 88 for some Tylenol, bro. No, listen, he goes on his rants, but I do it too. You know, I just think it's hilarious. You know, he has a good sense of humor. The Gilbert Godfrey thing. I was going to ask him to say Affleck, but you know, he seems like a cool guy. If anybody else donated, I think I missed it. I kept getting notifications, but I don't see anything. So I hope I didn't miss anyone. If I did and I find it later, I will shout you guys out in the next show. And if you want to donate after the show, feel free. I gave you a good show today. And, you know, you're more than welcome to show your appreciation. Thank you to everybody who did donate. And I think the only one I missed is Jason Mikesell right here. I got it on the screen, but I didn't read it yet. $20. Great interview. We're all loving it, right? 100 match. Thank you, Jason. Thank you very much. I got to get going because Chicago Muscle is coming on. He's going to abuse the Westies. So let's everybody go over there and watch that. And again, guys, I'll be back on tomorrow and tomorrow night and the next day and the next night, whatever. But, you know, take some time out of this weekend to honor the people who this holiday is all about. You know, and don't just see it as a day off and some extra drinking time or anything. You know, we got to honor our veterans and, you know, the soldiers the servicemen and women that we've lost. Okay. It's very important. It's very important. Without them, we wouldn't have the freedom we have today. So happy Memorial. I can't talk. Happy Memorial Day. I'm in a rush because Chicago's coming on. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Enjoy your time with your family. Enjoy the time off. Have some fun. And if you drink or use anything else, do it safely, please. I love you all. And until next time, salute.